Call the order of the President and Board of Trustees. Roll call, please.
Trustee Rassage.
Here.
Trustee Wajowski.
Here.
Trustee Benucci.
Here.
Trustee Lamb.
Here.
Trustee O'Rourke. Trustee Peck.
Here.
Mayor Collins.
Here. If we could rise for the pledge.
Presidential comments.
I'd be seeking board consideration of a motion to approve presidential appointments of Brian Minnis with the term to expire on April 30th, 2019, and Brandon Womack with the term to expire April 30th, 2018 to the Planning Commission.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Trustee Rassage.
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski.
Yes.
Trustee Benucci.
Yes.
Trustee Lamb.
Yes.
Trustee Peck.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries.
Gentlemen would like to come up, both, please. And if anyone would like to take pictures during this, do not hesitate. Step right up here, guys. Yep, come on. We found we can do them both.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Brandon Womack,
Having been appointed to
having been appointed to
the office of Plan Commissioner
the office of Plan Commissioner
in the village of Plainfield
in the village of Plainfield
in Will and Kendall Counties, Illinois,
in Will and Kendall Counties, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Plan Commissioner
of the office of Plan Commissioner
in the village of Plainfield
in the village of Plainfield
in Will and Kendall Counties, Illinois,
in Will and Kendall Counties, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you guys would like to just walk down the... Of course.
Undisposable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You might know a little disparity in the time where one's April of 18, one is 19. And that's just because we had our chairman retire, and we had one gentleman that was on sick leave and chose to step down. So that's why that is. The second thing I have this evening is a proclamation, Boy Scouts of America Troop 19, their 30th anniversary. Whereas the Boy Scouts of America have been at the forefront of instilling timeless values in youth since its founding in 1910, and whereas this national youth movement has made serving others through its value-based program its mission, and whereas the Boy Scouts of America is committed to helping millions of youth succeed by creating responsible, confident, ethical leaders to help shape America's future, and whereas Troop 19, sponsored by St. Mary's Immaculate Parish, has been serving the youth of Plainfield for over 30 years, and whereas Troop 19 has had over 60 scouts achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, Scouting's highest honor, contributing several worthwhile service projects for the Plainfield community. Now, therefore, I, Michael P. Collins, do here proclaim July 30th, 2016 as Boy Scout Troop 19 Day in recognition of the Boy Scouts of America, the leaders, the parents, and the scouts of Troop 19 for their interest in and dedication to America's youth. In witness thereof, I here to set my hand and cause to be affixed the official seal of the Village of Plainfield, Will and Kendall Counties, Illinois, this 18th day of July 2016. And I think we have representatives.
just real quick want to say thank you very much to the village. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And we are going to have a party to celebrate our 30th. You're all welcome over at the Riverfront Park the weekend of the 29th and 30th. So Saturday the 30th, feel free to stop on by. We'll be having a little celebration out at the Riverfront Park.
You know, before you leave the dais or the mic right there, is there a possibility you could talk about your son, Jack, what he is about to accomplish very soon? Or maybe Jack can talk about it.
You know what I hope he accomplishes really soon. How's this for a little bit of pressure, Jack? If you don't know, Eagle Scout's the highest rank in Boy Scouting. Jack is my son is a Life Scout now, which is the rank prior to becoming an Eagle. Over the last 30 years, I mentioned we have 60 Scouts that have achieved Eagle within our troop. We have Court of Honors regularly to celebrate that achievement. It requires about 21 merit badges that you have to work on. You have to do a service project for the community. Jack is working on his Eagle. He has a number of merit badges halfway done, still to do, and a service project to complete. So if anybody has any ideas for service projects for the community, our troop is always looking for ideas for projects. So if you have things in the community that need help, we're always looking for ideas of things that our boys can do. So thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you.
And I wish you well, sir. Thank you. And then the last thing I have, we commented last week about Dallas Police. And here again now this week we have Baton Rouge, where we lost 3 officers and 3 were also shot. I just put down in my little note here, when is the madness going to stop? I know our police chief has sent out memos to our police officers and staff to be very vigilant during this time. And I would also ask our residents to report any unusual actions in their subdivisions, where they shop, or places of employment. The more eyes and ears we have, the safer this community will be. And thank you very much, Chief. I read your memo, and it was very appropriate. Thank you. That's all I have.
Trustees' comments?
Mayor, thank you for the comments you just made. I'd also like to extend, my heart goes out to the community in Nice, France as well. I travel to France quite a bit, and unfortunately that's a perfect example of how a large loss of life can also be taken without use of a firearm. And I have to say that, it seems like every few weeks we're hearing about something horrible like this. So the violence needs to stop, and I firmly do believe in America, though, without the Second Amendment, you wouldn't have the First Amendment. Thank you.
Are there any other trustee comments?
I would like to thank everyone involved with the past weekend for Plainfield Fest. There are a lot of people involved in this. Not least of all, our police department, emergency management, public works, Jonathan Prue, several people, and I invited Director Rob Epley at some point in the next few weeks to come and actually talk about this. But Rob Epley headed up the event along with the chamber, and I particularly want to mention Keith Wertelka. Keith and his family moved back to Hawaii last year, and he was part of the foundation board for the Riverfront, and he came back specifically to volunteer. So jokingly, and it is true, we're giving him the longest traveled volunteer award for all the work that he did. There were so many people that worked all weekend long. It was a wonderful event, and I was standing next to the chief when people were leaving Saturday night, and as he greeted them going home, and very nice conversations back and forth, people had a great time. And that's what we want people to know about Plainfield. So thank you especially to you, Chief, and thank you for everyone who volunteered. And again, I invited Mr. Epley to come at a later date to give an update on the whole event. And I have one other question, and I typically don't do this, but Jonathan, I don't expect you to have an answer tonight. But is there any movement with that property at Fox River and Ottawa where Mr. Wegge has it's kind of a mess over there? I'm just wondering.
So Ken,
Or Ken. Whoever I should be asking. I'm sorry.
Picked up the building permit today, so he's
Oh, good.
been in
Okay.
for a building permit application for some time, working through the plan review process, and a permit was issued today.
That's good, as long as we see progress somewhere, because it's been sitting. Thank you very much.
I'd like to piggyback on Margie's comments and the others as well, in my support of for the people in France, as well as the police officers in Baton Rouge and in Dallas. To back up Trustee Bonucci's comments, Plainfield Fest looked to be a large success. My family had fun out there. The only thing I'd like to say, a little bit, I'd say constructive criticism, is I think that the fest is outgrowing its current location. I've noticed several people having trouble with their strollers getting through the sidewalks commingled with the rides and the crowds that were there. So I'd like to look at improving next year's, if at all possible. Thank you.
I'd like to compliment the selection committee for the plan commissioners, Mayor, Commissioner, Chairman Kiefer, and Jonathan Prue, for selecting two very qualified people. It's an excellent, I'm sorry they left already, but I'd like to have made a comment. I'll talk to them maybe at the plan commission meeting next time. But it's a very important function. It's good to have some new people take a look at that. And as everybody knows, that's a good source of feeding the village board in time. Sooner or later, some of us won't be here, right? He's not listening. Oh, well. Anyway, I think that we picked some very good people, so I'm looking forward to seeing. You are listening. Okay. Enough. Thank you.
Are there any other trustee comments? If not, this would be the time for public comments. Please come to the podium and state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Panarea Bakutis, and Mayor Collins, Board of Trustees, Village Clerk Gibbous, and to the village administration. I'm here representing the Morris Graduate School of Management, which is a division of Robert Morris University. If you remember me, I was here about 2 years ago providing information on the scholarships that we were offering for our undergraduate programs for the residents of Plainfield. Today I'm here with new information. I'm here with good news about the scholarships that we're offering to the residents of Plainfield to earn their MBA at half off tuition. Again, for the residents of Plainfield, they may earn their MBA graduate degree at our school, 50% off the entire degree to attend at the Orland Park campus. A little bit about our program. In Crane's 2015 MBA guide, our MBA program was listed as one of the 5 most competitive MBA programs in the Chicagoland area. So as you can see, this is a highly regarded degree. We were also recently recognized in Money Magazine, which published a special report reporting on the best college values in the United States, meaning which they would measure the tuition dollars versus the education that they received. And out of this in-depth college study, we were listed in the top 50 colleges in the United States and ranked as a #1 value all-star nationwide. And I gave Michelle Gibbous the handouts, and I think you all have those in front of you. So today, why am I here promoting the master's degree program? Well, today's economy and marketplace dictate the importance of earning that master's degree to become employed, stay competitive in the employment field, and to be able to promote oneself in one's current career. As a leader in not-for-profit education, we provide a flexible class schedule designed for students who have employment and/or family obligations to fit college into their lives. We offer accelerated programs, minimum time on campus, and small classroom sizes to ensure that each student receives the personal assistance they would need to become a successful college graduate. The fall start date is September 26th, and that allows plenty of time to review and complete the application process. We offer a variety of academic programs which may be reviewed on our website at robertmorris.edu. I'm here today before the board, again, asking for your help to help me get the word out of these amazing scholarship opportunities to your residents. I'm asking for this information to be provided on your website, which other communities have done, in your newsletter, electronic news, or any other communication avenues that the village uses to communicate to the residents. Also, if your local newspaper is interested in printing this information, this would definitely assist to inform the Plainfield and Joliet residents, as this same scholarship is available for the residents of Joliet as well. For those seeking further information, I can be reached at the Orland Park campus at 708-226-5353. Do you have any questions for me?
Does anybody in Plainfield taking advantage of the last two offers?
Of the undergraduate degrees, we had plenty of residents come forward, you know, and they were just very happy. They didn't believe me until I actually showed them the plan. I'm like, you know, hey, this is a school, you know, it is what it is. We did do 2 mailings for the graduate program, and not many people are getting this information for some reason, which is why I'm coming back to you now to help me inform your residents.
Thank you.
Because I know there's people out there that have been thinking of getting their MBA.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As far as your MBA goes, do you have a list off on your website, or if you know offhand some of the emphasis that you offer in your MBA?
Yes,
Like whether it's
it's-
finance or?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Very good. All that is on our website. The program that we're offering at the Orland Park campus is the true regular MBA management. If then they wanted to take advantage of the scholarship. If they wanted then to get a second concentration in finance or accounting or human resources, that second concentration is about another 4 or 5 classes, and that would be at no cost. Which, by the way, is open to all people, not just residents of Plainfield. A second master's degree or a second concentration is always offered at no cost. All the student has to do is just purchase the books. And those specialized classes would be at the Chicago campus. Any other questions? Thank you for having me here once again. It's always a pleasure to come here.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other public comments?
First of all, thank you for having me. My name is Ben Marshall. I've been a resident of Plainfield for about 10 years. Not necessarily accustomed to this. I know I have between 3 to 5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and just read what I have for you and take it from there. My name is Ben Marshall. My family and I have been residents of Plainfield for over a decade. I stand before this board today to make a few comments for you to consider. On June 24th, I emailed this board a response to a statement made by Trustee Rasich with respect to gun control. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly, so please correct me if I'm.
Perfectly fine.
The only response I received back was from Trustee O'Rourke. He's not here, but I would like to thank him for listening to his constituents. Clearly, this board receives many emails and forms of communication by the people they represent, and that is why only one of you had enough time to respond. Trustee Rasich, I feel compelled to give you a brief history lesson with respect to the Second Amendment. First and foremost, the Bill of Rights was officially included in the U.S. Constitution in December of 1791, in large part to James Madison. The idea behind the Bill of Rights was to restrict the government from infringing upon the people's God-given rights. Therefore, the founders of this great country put together 10 original freedoms that everyone agreed upon. The second of those freedoms was a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms. No one discussed the type of arms or who should not have access to them. Please note, nowhere does it mention hunting. Point being is, we were granted the right to protect ourselves from one another and from you, the government, if needed by any means. Since you specifically have taken issues with AR-15s, I'd like to point a few facts for you to consider. Not that you necessarily have any interest in facts according to your last statement. In 2011, 12,664 murders, this is by the FBI, their stats, not mine, were committed in the United States. 323 were committed by any style of rifle. 1,694 were committed by knives, 496 by blunt objects, 726 by hands or feet. If we fast forward to 2014, 11,961 murders were committed in the United States. A good credit could go to the gentlemen down there in blue, because they do their job and they do it damn well. 660 were committed as unarmed individuals. 1,567 were committed by knives, and 248 murders were known to be caused by any style of rifle. The point is very simple. The loss of life is tragic by any cause, but to prevent me or my family the ability to protect ourselves is even more tragic. And you and the government do not have the authority to remove this right from me. The fact that you attempt to distract us with the needs argument is disingenuous, i.e., why do you need an AR-15 to hunt? Your statement. This is irrelevant. Are you aware of the lives saved by guns in general? Since you have already demonstrated a lack of understanding of the Second Amendment, I thought it best for me to provide you instances of life-saving actions with the use of a gun. Just by referencing the NRA website, there are over 484 pages of results. Just the first 5 pages have 50 newspaper headlines, which I have included for you to review afterwards. I could read them, but I don't have that much time. So let me conclude by stating the following. I work a full-time job. My wife and I are raising 3 children. The silent majority has been silent because we do not have time to protest or voice our opinion because we are working and funding the government. I do not have time to come to every town hall meeting to challenge the overreach by the federal government, the state government, or even my local village. It would be a 24-hour position. In fact, government has designed a system so that those who live off of the system have the loudest voice because they have the time to do so. So as you sit in this forum, know we are watching you, we are monitoring you, and we request you stop using this platform to push your agenda to stifle our rights. For you, Trustee Rasich, I live at 13022 Kensington Drive. That's in Plainfield. It's behind Target, 127 to 59. Molon Lake, my friend.
Under normal circumstances, I would never address a public comment. But, sir, when you said, I do not understand the Bill of Rights, I find that very offensive. You obviously demonstrated the very first Bill of Right, the freedom of speech. Fortunately, I feel very strongly about this particular issue, as you do, Mr. Marshall. And the one forum that we have is the ability, to petition government. If you don't like what this government is doing, you can petition it. You can protest it. I fully understand what rights people have in regard. It is this position on being a trustee on this board is not just a given public thing that I can use it for my own particular forum. I have been here for 12 years, and the election is, I could tell this to the entire Plainfield community. The election for positions 3 on this board will be in April of this next year in 2017. I advocate the fact that I would encourage anyone who feels that they can do the job, get the message out, protect everybody's liberties, protect everybody, the situation that comes forward. I encourage you to run for trustee, run for mayor, run for county board, run for any elected position you can get. The thing that disturbed me, Mr. Marshall, and perhaps I really have to, it was an error on my part to say, do people use AK-47s to hunt? They don't probably have an AK-47 handy. Maybe some people do. But what has disturbed me, and it really continues to disturb me, headlines, for example, such as this. I could have a binder, cops attacked in Baton Rouge, 3 officers killed, 3 wounded, 37 wounded in Chicago over the weekend. A father accidentally shoots his teenage son at a Florida gun range. Accidents do occur, and things are occurring. What I was trying to draw to public's attention is we have to get a better grip on what is occurring in this country. And I feel very strongly about it, and I know you feel very strongly. And your words have total justification in what you had to say, because it is acceptable, and I will take what you had to say and try and learn from it, because I think I will learn from it. And thank you for being here tonight. I will take it. If you just hand it to me now.
Right to the desk here, sir. Either one of these ladies.
And,
Gentlemen get it.
Mr. Marshall, if we have an opportunity, my telephone number's on the website, or email me, and I would certainly like to meet with you either in Village Hall, having a cup of coffee. I would like to get your opinion, because you have very strong opinions about this, and an awful lot of people don't have my opinion, they have yours. And so I'd like for you to share that with me, because I think perhaps I need a little education also. And thank you.
Mr. Marshall, can I make one point? And I'm not sure who else on the board received your message or not, but I can tell you I did not, or I would have responded. So I don't know about the other trustees, but I mean, I'm not sure everyone got your message, so your initial contact. Oh, okay. That's fine. I just want you to know, I mean, I can speak for myself, but I think I can pretty much speak for the members of the board that they're very responsive to citizens' emails and calls and that. So thank you.
Yeah, one of the important things is we listen, and we did listen to you. We listened to Trustee Ratchick. That's the nice thing about the United States. You can say what you want, and people will listen to it. And we listen. We may or may not agree with you, but the key point is we do listen. And we work on a consensus. That's what democracy is about. So whatever the public as a whole wants to do is what we'll all live with.
Are there any other public comments?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, village trustees. My name is Frank Wiltsey. I live right behind Central High School, and I have a few safety concerns that require some immediate attention. Newkirk Drive near Plainfield Central High School, I've noticed that Fort Braggs is now in process of getting the LED lighting, which I'm all for. I have a young daughter who will be attending school soon. I thought I'd bring her here and see how government runs. But on our street, there are 2 temporary old wooden poles that are listing quite badly, and I don't know who to talk to about that, if it's planning or ComEd. I'd just like that to be addressed since there's light pole things going up right by the high school. In addition, there are no sidewalks on either side of our street. The entire length of Newkirk Drive off of Route 59, which is a path right to Central High School, as well as a path to both Indian Trail and Central Elementary. There are several kids in our neighborhood, and mine happened to almost be hit by a car. So this has become a personal objective of my own. Sidewalks extend from Fort Braggs all the way down Pratt right before our house, and then they stop for some reason. I personally volunteer. Don't worry about my shrubs, my lawn. I'm worried about my safety of my family. My daughter's out walking our dogs quite a bit, and it's quite important. It's not a matter of when someone is injured or killed, having to walk in the street, both to school or to home, but if it's going to happen. So I'd like to see that addressed as soon as possible. Something unintended consequences. We're all understand that sometimes things like that happen. The Route 59 project's fantastic. Traffic's moving back and forth much better than when I was first in Plainfield several years ago. But an occurrence that happens at least once a day that I'm around or driving that, I drive it every day. Northbound 59, you have no, I say you, it's a pejorative you, there are no left-hand turn lane signs on to Oak Street, but just right by the Walgreens. But prior to that is Arnold, and folks are now turning left across 4 lanes of Route 59 onto Arnold. I would highly suggest a feasibility study be done where you would put no left turns onto Arnold, put up one-way do not enter, 100 yards in either direction are dedicated turn lanes where it'd be much safer for people to turn. I personally have been a witness to 2 accidents and numerous close calls. So I would like someone to take a look at that. And lastly, I perused the website. Have there been any further developments on the train horn right over here? Other than that, thank you so much for your time. I do have copies, if I can leave those for everyone. On that? Oh, okay, great. And you are? Al, thank you, Frank Wiltsey. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Are there any other public comments? Not, then we'll proceed with the business meeting. We're seeking a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. Trustee Rassich?
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski?
Yes.
Trustee Benucci?
Yes.
Trustee Lamb?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. We're seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda to include minutes of the board meeting held on June 20th, bills paid and bills payable reports for July 18th, cash and investments, revenue and expenditure reports for June, and approval of the cyber liability policy through BCS Insurance in the amount of $5,567, and to include the policy as part of SWARM's annual insurance renewal.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve items A through D under the consent agenda. Trustee Rassich?
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski?
Yes.
Trustee Benucci?
Yes.
Trustee Lamb?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is 14125 South Van Dyke Road. We're seeking board consideration of a motion to direct the village attorney to prepare an ordinance granting approval of a map amendment rezoning of the property commonly known as 14125 South Van Dyke Road from I-1 to R1.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, I'll proceed with the roll. Trustee Rassich? It's gone. Trustee Wajowski,
Yes.
Trustee Benucci,
Yes.
Trustee Lamb,
No.
Trustee Peck.
Yes.
That motion carries. Administrators report,
No report.
Management Services report,
No report.
Engineers report,
No report.
Planning Department report,
No report?
Building Department report.
Operational report for June. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
Just a quick comment as usual. A lot of activity, another $6 million worth of assets going into town, so things are looking good.
It's been a busy month.
I bet of that.
Public Works report.
Thank you. I only have a few items. We actually went out for bid on a project to interconnect some bike trailways at 127th Street, 248th in that area. The bids that we had received had quite a wide range. Actually, the engineer's estimate for the project was $180,000. Bids ranged from $225,000 to $543,000. I think that there were some concerns about the retaining wall. So what we would like to do is revisit the design of the retaining wall and potentially get away from a poured wall and get into a modular block wall. So this gives us an opportunity to rebid the project, reevaluate the costs, and then bring it back to the board. But we still have sufficient time to complete this project, but it's our recommendation that we reject all the bids and rebid this project in the future.
You haven't accepted any bids yet, correct?
That's correct.
I move that we reject all the bids and go into the rebidding process.
That motion's been made and seconded. Trustee Rassich?
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski?
Yes.
Trustee Benucci?
Yes.
Trustee Lamb?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries.
And on the positive side, the alum contract, this is related to the wastewater treatment facility. We utilize a chemical called alum to remove the phosphorus in the wastewater. What it does is it coagulates with the phosphorus. It allows it to settle out, and we remove it. And we purchase over 100,000 gallons of phosphorus, or 100,000 gallons of alum solution every year. We did restructure the bid related to this. In the past, we would bid it as per pounds of aluminum oxide, and we restructured it into a liquid bid because it's commonly found in aluminum sulfate, 40% aluminum sulfate liquid with aluminum oxide in it. So in that kind of restructuring of the bid, not only did we attract additional bidders, because we only had 2 bidders in the past, so we attracted additional bidders, but it brought the price down. And the price is actually 20% lower than what we're currently paying right now. So we can attribute a little bit of that to the gasoline prices as well, because shipping costs is a huge item related to this. But this is a 1-year contract. It's 20% lower than what we're currently paying. We did have multiple bids on this, which was nice. This is a very large, USALCO is a huge company as far as chemical distribution is concerned, and staff recommends approval of this contract. We will bring this back, if this is approved tonight, we will bring this back again this time next year because it does have a 2-year renewable term with a minimal increase. I think it's 3 to 5% increase in price. But again, we're 20% lower than we are today.
I move that we accept or approve the 1-year contract with USA LCO, a low bidder, to supply alum to the wastewater treatment facility.
Second?
The motion's been made and seconded. Trustee Rassich?
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski?
Yes.
Trustee Benucci?
Yes.
Trustee Lamb?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries.
And the next item that I have is related to commercial mowing equipment. If the board can recall back to the budget formulation process and development, we did talk about the replacement of several equipment items, from squad cars to some public works vehicles and even to lawnmowers as well. Pat Miller is here this evening to help answer any questions. The village does take care of 45 different sites. These include not only Settlers Park, the Village Hall, Police Department, Public Works, also several well houses, the Lake Water Station, lift stations, smaller pocket parks and things of that nature. We have over 115 acres that we actually care for as far as mowing is concerned. We currently own 8 riding lawnmowers of this size. 2 mowers that are in need of replacement are approximately 10 years old. So we did request proposals. We received 3 proposals, and the low proposal was provided by Turf Team Incorporated at the cost of $23,038, and that's for 2 commercial grade riding lawnmowers. So I'll be happy to answer any questions related to that.
Yeah, the ones you had now are doing a good job doing the Parkway on Van Dyke this afternoon when I happened to be coming down there. So they're very versatile, very flexible. They move tremendously well. I noticed they offer a 60-inch, which is what you're ordering, and a 72. We find because of the Parkway widths, we find the 60 is our best bet.
It's better on maneuverability, and the new style mowers and the ones that were approved a couple of years ago, that nice feature is they actually discharge back from the back side of the mowing deck. So the grass is mulched and then it's discharged through the back, so it's not thrown on the roadway or thrown into the storm sewers or into traffic too as well. So that's one of the benefits too as well, and that's offered in the 60-inch deck. So that's
Okay,
why
great.
we selected it, but it's a good product.
Just one question, Alan, too. What do you do with the old ones?
The old ones, we have sent those to auction, to the same auction house that we auction vehicles at. We'd have to reevaluate the older ones. Some we've actually permanently stationed, like at the wastewater treatment facility, if they're on their last leg. There was another mower this past year. We lost the motor, and the mechanics actually utilized the parts off of the damaged mower to repair other mowers, almost like a little mower junkyard in a way, if lack of a better term, salvage yard, I guess I should call it. Yeah, I'll have to touch base with Pat, but one or both may be sold or they may be repurposed.
Okay, thanks.
Have a motion yet? I move that we authorize the purchase of 2 S-Mark commercial lawn mowers from Turf Team Inc. At a total cost of $23,038.
Second?
The motion's been made and seconded. Trustee Rassich?
Yes.
Trustee Wajowski?
Yes.
Trustee Benucci?
Yes.
Trustee Lamb?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries.
I just have one more quick thing. It's a promo for next Monday. So right here, next Monday in this same room, we're actually going to have a presentation related to parking downtown. That was one of the items on the strategic plan. So we'd like to have a committee of the whole discussion related to downtown parking and a study related to downtown parking. It was an item that came up as part of our community outreach forum. So that's going to be the first part of the meeting. Second part of the meeting, we're going to discuss the IMS program as far as reevaluating our street networks and looking at towards the next 5 years as far as resurfacing is concerned. So that's a promo for next week. If I could have the floor for a second there, Mayor. I guess I already had it, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
do
you. That's all I
have
have.
a question. I
Sure.
mean, since you're going to bring up parking, wouldn't it be a good idea that if you bring back the parking availability for approximately 2 blocks from Lockport Street, the number of units that are available? Because I know when we had Front Street Cantina, there was a question about parking, and there was like 180 spots within a block and a half. So maybe if the summer help, they can use an easy morning and just figure out how many parking places we have within like 2 blocks.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Definitely, Mayor. We will do that. That's all I have.
Police Chief's report.
Thank you. I just have 2 quick items. The first item is the monthly report for the Plainfield Emergency Management Agency for May of this year. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
You know, Chief, I don't have a question. I just have a comment. I always say behind every successful organization, there's a woman involved. And it's just, I was just showing her the PEMA hours today. And she said, it says, oh, man hours. Are there no women involved? I said, there are a lot of them. Margie Benucci is one of them.
Not really.
Well, Margie Benucci is one. So if you can tease Mr. Kenneth Ruggles, do so, would you please?
We will make that politically correct, sir.
Well, absolutely. Thank you.
The second item I have is just a thank you to our community. As was mentioned earlier in this meeting and last week, because of the recent events in the country, and I've posted this on our social media sites, but I'd like to utilize this venue for a moment if I could. The outpouring of support to our agency, and I'm speaking for our entire agency, from our residents, our business owners, and even visitors to our community over the last 2 weeks has been absolutely outstanding. More so, except for September 11th, more so than anything I've experienced in my 20-plus years here in the village. And I just want to publicly thank everyone for all the support. We are very fortunate in Plainfield that we have a great community, a safe community. However, if you don't think that the events around the country, Baton Rouge, Dallas, and some other places where officers have been attacked, don't have an effect on officers, you're absolutely mistaken. We've changed some of our tactics, some of our thinking because of events that have happened there. And like I said, we've been very fortunate that we haven't had to experience anything here, but it makes our job that much easier because of the support that our community puts behind us. So I would just like to publicly thank our community for that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Attorney's report,
No report this evening. Thank you very much.
reminders.
July 19th is the Planning Commission. July 25th will be our next Committee of the Whole, and our next board meeting will be August 1st.
Taking a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. That motion carries.